Narcissism and parenting, two words that, when combined, can lead to confusion, heartache, and lasting emotional scars for children. We often hear the word love thrown around, but when it comes to narcissistic parents, the reality is far from the ideal. In this video, we're going to uncover the harsh truth, why a narcissist simply can't love their children in the way they deserve. Stick around as we explore 5 critical reasons that explain this painful dynamic. Let me share a personal experience that highlights how a narcissist can fail to truly love their child. When I was growing up, I always tried to gain my parents' approval, seeking validation for every accomplishment. But no matter what I did, whether it was excelling at school or doing something they wanted me to do, it never seemed to be enough. Instead of being proud, I would often face cold indifference or criticism. Over time, I began to realize that the love I was craving wasn't about me at all. It was more about what I could provide to serve their needs, how I could feed their ego, or how I could fit into their carefully crafted image. This realization opened my eyes to the fact that narcissists don't truly love their children the way healthy parents do. And that's exactly what we'll dive into today: why a narcissist's love is often conditional and self-serving. Here are 5 reasons. Number 1. They see their children as extensions of themselves. Narcissistic parents often don't view their children as unique individuals with their own dreams, desires, and feelings. Instead, they see them as mere extensions of themselves, living reflections of their own image and success. For these parents, a child's achievements are not a source of pride because of the child's inherent potential, but because they validate the narcissist's ego. If their child excels in school, sports, or other areas, it's less about the child's growth and more about how that success enhances the narcissist's status. This creates an unhealthy dynamic where the child is forced to meet unattainable standards to satisfy the narcissist's need for admiration, which can lead to chronic feelings of inadequacy and pressure. On the flip side, if the child fails or shows weaknesses, it is often viewed as a personal insult to the narcissist. In their eyes, failure is not just a learning experience, but a direct threat to their carefully constructed image. This perspective makes it difficult, if not impossible, for the narcissistic parent to offer genuine love or support, as their affection is often tied to how well the child serves their need for validation. Over time, the child learns to internalize this, believing that their worth is only tied to their ability to reflect the narcissist's desires and expectations, rather than being valued for who they truly are. Number 2. Emotional manipulation over genuine care. For a narcissist, love is often a tool to control and manipulate rather than an expression of genuine care. They are experts at using affection, praise, or attention to get what they want, whether it's admiration, loyalty, or simply someone to feed their inflated ego. A narcissistic parent may shower their child with love or approval when they want something in return, such as unquestioning obedience or performing well in a specific area. But once they've received what they need, that affection can quickly disappear, leaving the child confused and emotionally drained. This creates a toxic cycle where the child constantly seeks the next reward of love, never knowing when or if it will come. Unlike healthy parental relationships, where love is given unconditionally, a narcissistic parent's affection is dependent on the child's ability to fulfill their needs or meet their expectations. If the child dares to express their own desires, emotions, or needs that conflict with the narcissist's wants, they may be punished with withdrawal, criticism, or even emotional neglect. This emotional manipulation undermines the child's ability to trust in love or feel truly cared for, teaching them that love is something they must earn, often at the cost of their own emotional well-being. Over time, this dynamic erodes the child's sense of self-worth, as they are constantly made to feel that their value is tied to their ability to please and serve the narcissist. Number 3. They are unaware of their child's needs. Narcissistic parents are so focused on their own desires, emotions, and self-position that they often fail to recognize or care about their child's emotional and psychological needs. A child's struggles, pain, or even basic needs for affection or validation are often overlooked or dismissed, as these needs don't serve the narcissist's agenda. For example, if a child is feeling anxious, sad, or rejected, the narcissistic parent is unlikely to provide comfort or support. Instead, they may ignore the child's emotions, belittle their feelings, or even blame them for the perceived weakness. In this environment, children are left to figure out how to cope with their emotions alone, often feeling invisible and unimportant. The narcissist's inability to recognize their child's needs stems from their profound lack of empathy, a key trait of narcissism. They are unable or unwilling to see the world through their child's eyes, and as a result, they may not even realize how their behavior affects their child's well-being. This lack of awareness can create a toxic emotional atmosphere where the child feels emotionally abandoned, constantly striving for attention or affection that is never genuinely offered. The child may begin to internalize that their feelings don't matter, leading to long-term issues with self-esteem, insecurity, and an inability to trust that others will meet their emotional needs. Number 4. Love is conditional. For a narcissistic parent, love is not something freely given. It is a reward or a tool that's dependent on whether the child meets certain conditions. This means that affection, praise, or approval is only offered when the child behaves in a way that benefits the narcissist's self-possession or fulfills their needs. For example, a narcissistic parent might shower their child with love when they succeed academically or when they follow the parent's strict expectations. However, if the child shows independence, expresses their own desires, or doesn't meet the narcissist's standards, that love can quickly vanish, leaving the child confused and hurt. This creates an environment where the child is constantly walking on eggshells, trying to earn their parents' affection and approval, rather than feeling loved unconditionally for who they truly are. The conditional nature of love from a narcissistic parent teaches the child that their worth is tied to their ability to serve the narcissist's needs or meet their unrealistic expectations. This fosters a deep sense of insecurity, as the child never knows when or if they will be accepted or loved. They may begin to feel as if they are only valuable when they are performing for the narcissist, whether that's through good grades, outward success, or constantly providing validation. Over time, this conditional love can erode the child's self-esteem, leading them to feel like they're never enough and struggle with finding healthy, unconditional love in their adult relationships. Number 5. Lack of empathy. One of the most defining traits of a narcissistic parent is their complete lack of empathy. Narcissists are so absorbed in their own emotions and needs that they struggle or outright refuse to understand or care about the feelings of others, especially their children. If a child experiences pain, anxiety, or emotional turmoil, a narcissistic parent is unlikely to offer comfort or validation. Instead, they may dismiss the child's feelings as unimportant or even criticize them for being too sensitive. This indifference leaves the child feeling emotionally abandoned and unsupported, unable to trust that their feelings will be acknowledged or respected. The narcissist may even go as far as to belittle or invalidate their child's experiences, reinforcing the idea that their emotions don't matter. This lack of empathy not only damages the parent-child relationship, but also creates a toxic environment for the child's emotional development. Without emotional support from their parent, the child is left to cope with feelings of isolation, confusion, and inadequacy. They may begin to believe that their needs are selfish or that they aren't worthy of care and attention. Over time, this can lead to deep-seated issues with self-worth and a distorted view of relationships, where the child either overcompensates by seeking approval from others or withdraws completely, unable to form healthy emotional connections. The narcissist's inability to show empathy leaves a permanent emotional void, often shaping how the child views the world and themselves for years to come. Understanding these behaviors is crucial for breaking the cycle of emotional pain that comes with having a narcissistic parent. Children of narcissists often grow up feeling unworthy of true love, but knowing the reasons behind these dynamics is the first step toward healing and building a healthier sense of self. If this resonates with you, remember, you are worthy of unconditional love. And it's okay to seek relationships that nurture and support that truth. Thanks for watching. Remember, awareness is your best defense against narcissists. Stay strong, stay informed, and protect your energy. Until next time.